Hey guys, what's up? Alright. It's Double Deuce back. It's Rise and Shine, it's Engine Time, episode 3. So, tonight, I'm making headers for the V12. And I do have a lot of questions to address to you guys. Because you guys are the ones that enlighten me to do my videos, you know. So, anyways, we have a lot of cool engines going on here, okay? Now, they all have one problem, and I'm going to address that in a video, and I want you, my friends out there, to put your thoughts in the comments, okay? So, don't mind that right there. That's a new prototype. And I'll show you that in a minute. So, here we go, guys. Okay, so we're back now. So, now, my question to you guys is, what do you want in an engine? You want a display, desktop, pencil sharpener, or something you can put in your RC car? That's my question tonight for you guys. Now, my thoughts on this are that all these engines that they make need to have some kind of a clutch, bell housing, and gearbox applied to it. Now, if I'm wrong, call me out. You know, I ain't scared. You know, I mean, I'm not doing this for, you know, money. I'm doing it for, we're involved in like learning right now, so, and you know, I'm going to take a break in a little while here because it gets overwhelming. So, but the thing that keeps me going is you guys. All right. Now everybody knows that I have a. I'm going to be humble when I say this. A PTSD malfunction in my life. Because my life is turned to the worst of worst, okay? But I still make this happen, so. Anyways, now, my question for you guys is, clutch, gearbox, involved with the whole, they spend many months, years developing these engines, okay? But they can't seem to come up with a gearbox and a clutch. We have to do that ourselves. And there's no options out there. I mean, I have a couple, and I'm trying to work on that, but here's the problem. I don't get paid to do this. You know, this is something that I donate to everybody out there so we can do our own thing, you know. And the thing is, it's like, this all started with the Conley V8 back in the old days, okay? When the Conley first come out, they had no gearbox whatsoever, no clutch, no nothing. And then over time, their first, now I'm going to call out quarter scale legends on this one. Their first gearbox was what, guys? No, it was a 3-speed Schwinn bicycle transmission. That's what it was. And over time, they developed just a straight gearbox with a clutch through an empty housing that looks like a 4-speed, which is really cool, but there's no gears. So they spend all this time developing all these intricate engines that run, but they can't come up with a simple gearbox. A gearbox is the most simple thing in the world to do. So, now, going on, I guess, our past, okay? I've tested the Engineware V8. I've been accused of taking engines for free. A lot of these I pay for. A lot. I only have a couple that were sent to me to test. Okay? So let's clear the air now, guys. I mean, the reason I have less and less videos is because I'm working harder and harder to pay for all this stuff now that our government has decided to raise their interest rates, you know, to like, what, almost 30%. I could borrow money from Big Ed and the mob in the city and get a better rate. And I might do that. You know why? Because I still believe in our hobby. And I'll do whatever I have to do to bring you guys transparency to the hobby. Now, you see that I have many engines here. Now, this weekend I'm going to put the new Howen L6 together, and I'm going to get it running. That's going to be my next video. Tonight I'm working on a set of headers that I'm custom making out of 5/16 fuel tubing, and I'm custom making these things tonight. So I got 3 done last night. When I got home tonight, I was just too pooped to pop, dudes. I mean, you know, it is what it is. So, but if we don't give our comments on what we want, they're not going to know what to build. So here's my thoughts on this. In the comments below, put down your thoughts. What would be your next exotic engine? Would it be a V8 with a gearbox? Or would it be the Toyota, what's that, J2Z? You know, tell me what you want. Put it in the comments because they're going to read them. And, you know, one thing that I've learned was, I don't make a lot of money off this, but I bring people together, and that means more than money. And when you guys meet those guys that build this stuff, they have no clue what to build next. Nothing, okay? They're stabbing in the dark just like we are. And seriously, since the early 80s when the Conley V8 first came out, there's been nothing but stabbing in the dark because nobody has given them their point of view on what they want to buy, okay? Now, personally, I bought a lot of engines here, a lot, more than probably you may know, and none of them have a clutch, none. So what do? I'm sitting here on my own time trying to figure this out for everybody in the hobby, and you know, the Engine-More V8, yes, I came up with a clutch setup for that. Tonight, I just ordered like $180 worth of shit to make this clutch work out on the V12. You know what? But I contacted them, and they have a prototype, but they're not going to be released for a long time, so I don't know what to do, you know? I mean, I don't want to hack up the engine because apparently they made a really beautiful specimen of an engine, and it stops at the flywheel. Now, for us guys that need things to, they want to turn this into a, not a desktop engine. They want to make it an RC engine. It has the revs, it has the torque, it has everything good going for it. But the thing is, though, without a clutch setup and a gear housing, transmission, whatever, even if it's just a clutch with a shaft that comes out the back that we can mount easily, because not all of us can make this stuff ourselves, okay? One thing they lack to realize is when we buy an engine, okay, it's cool because we buy it and you fall in love with it. It's like going to the strip club. You fall in love with that girl all night long, and all of a sudden you have no money in your bank account the next day, and you only have a little bit to show for it, maybe a memory. And that's what this is. It turns into a memory because you put it on your shelf, and it turns into a desktop display that you show your buddies that you're, you know, the only thing this thing is missing is glitter and the scent of vanilla and regret. That's all this thing is missing. Everything else is cool if they would just put a gearbox on the back. And I've contacted them a couple of times. I've contacted all these companies a couple of times saying, if you're going to build an engine, do it all the way. Don't do it halfway. Don't make the engine and let us guys figure out what we need to do with it. We're not your research and development team, okay? Now, I'm going to get to the next new engine that's under wraps here, okay? Now, you're going to laugh when you see it, but here's the way I see it. If we don't voice our opinion, we're going to get something that maybe that, you know, it could blow your mind, or it could really, like, you know, really make your day bad. So Now I'm going to unveil it now. That's our next engine right there. Look at that thing. It glitters. It's got the hint. It's got the smell. I mean, I like this, you know. So, okay, guys, wake up. And where do we go from here? Because I can put this on top of a couple of engines right now as a trophy. You know, this is a fake pile of dog shit. Is what this is. If you guys haven't caught on to that yet. But the thing is, we need to really voice our opinion on what we need to do and what we want, because they're willing to make what we want if you pay for it. And you know, their research and development, their CNC machining. I just bought a set of headers the other night there for my Ingeborg V8 because they offered them. Okay, now there's I think it's a the setup time is crazy on those things because they have to 3D print them and then CNC machine them, and that's a whole new light in our hobby, is aluminum printed parts and CNC machine stuff. Now, I had a question on from this company here on what would my thoughts be for a popular engine. We all know that we want a V8. Now, you guys put down below in the comments what you'd like one of these companies to build next. Okay, we already have a lot of cool stuff. We have the Aussie V8, we have the Ingeborg V8. Okay, now that one there is a big scale. This one here is a smaller scale. Now we have the Howen L6. That, I mean, for all the Ford lovers out there, this is a wicked cool engine, and we're still doing a lot of testing on this. And we have the Sisson Flathead. This is one of my favorites amongst the Toyon L400, if they would address their problems. And the thing is, we have the Toyon V8, and I tried the supercharger on this. I figured it out, and I'll do an upcoming video on why it's not working with this V8, okay? Because I compared it to the supercharger off the Aussie V8. And so I'm going to kind of bring kind of some nerd engineering talk into you guys there. So if that's cool with you guys, let me know. So I ordered a clutch for this today, I should say. I'll pull these headers off here. These are painstakingly made here, and the headers will get the award of the dog shit tonight. Now we have a recessed flywheel on this thing, and I'm going to try to pull all this stuff out of the way here so you guys can see it. And let's see the units. We have a recessed flywheel with a bolt-on tab, and they claim to have a clutch setup for this thing. And when I first contacted them over this engine, I'll be honest, I refused it. I refused to even test it or whatever, because I like buying my engines, I like doing my thing, but I was really amazed on the quality, just the thought that went into this engine, and the devotion. And there's some weird things on here that a lot of people have pointed out, like the carburetor comes up this way, it should be the other way, you know. That's probably an easily doable thing in the long run. I have no specs on this engine as far as timing, so I'm trying to figure that out. But the distributors are adjustable. We have two, which complicates things. The Ingeborg V8 has one distributor, and if you use that distributor correctly on a 3-cell 11.1 volt, it'll rev like mine does. So, because I've had two of those. I had a test version, which I had to send back to them, and you guys know I beat the pants off that engine. And then I got my engine, and I beat the pants off that engine too. That's going in my next build. I want to make a build for this, but I don't want to do it yet because I don't know if they're going to come up with a gearbox for this thing. I see this thing as a IndyCar engine or a boat. You know, I mean, I can put it in whatever I need, but I have to make like a clutch and a housing that bolts and is strong enough to like take the torque of the engine. What people that build these things don't understand is they want to see it put in something. Don't half do it. You got to do it all the way. You know, if you would make this thing a complete unit, I guarantee you, you guys, my subscribers, we could easily fit this thing in something. You know, whether it be good or bad, it's still going to be a positive effect in our hobby. So, anyways, guys, I'm going to keep continuing here. I'm going to give up the headers there, and I'm going to put the dog shit award back in the box for the next. I ain't gonna even gonna say the thing. It's like the next kickstart. I'll put it that way. There you go. That's your next kickstart right there. Okay. Just make sure that follow me. You know, I'm not out there to like mislead nobody. I'm just trying to give you guys my honest opinion of everything. And if you, I mean, I've had a lot of comments that are good and bad, and you know what? I read every one, and sometimes even tonight, when I got home from work, I couldn't even answer the questions I had from my last two videos. Okay, and anyways, love to all. Like, share, subscribe if you want. Have patience with me. I'm only trying to make things better for everybody. You know, a lot of guys have a problem with that, I guess, but, you know, most of you don't. So, anyways, guys, adios.